Hello, everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We have a Bachelorette episode tonight, but first, a couple of videos to prime the pumps. Get ready for tonight's episode of The Bachelorette, starring Gabby and Rachel. Right here, we have Becca Kufrin responding to a photo of what appears to be Nate and Thomas and says, "I don't condone bad behavior." And people are wondering, is it her referencing the Michelle versus Nate injustice that maybe went down that we don't know the whole story for, or is it something completely different? Well, Bachelor Nation is scrubbing the internet trying to find their answers. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals if you want answers to life's question. What is that question? I don't know. I'm just trying to get followers. Aren't we all just trying to get followers in some weird way? Okay, so you can go over there. I've got a show Friday night in North Hollywood. If you're in Los Angeles, I'll post the details on my Instagram Friday night, North Hollywood. And I'm also on Patreon at patreon.com/Dave Neal. I've got a private live stream happening today, so get on that. You can see the behind the scenes content and all the other information I'm sharing, which includes me just trying to do better at time blocking my life. I am so bad at this. I'm trying to write a feature film. I'm trying to take all these big swings, and I'm just having a real hard time. So if you have any advice for me, please let me know in the comment section. All right, let's get into this story. Thomas posts a photo, tags King Nate versus Thomas here on Family Feud, which is, of course, why I've got the mustache going in honor of Steve Harvey. And then Becca's response goes, "I don't condone bad behavior." And he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." Like every guy was, what, honey, did I miss a cue? What are you talking? She goes, "Oh, you know." And he's like, can somebody help me out? Family Feud. What is my fiance talking about? So that's where they're at. We're going to get into this story in a second, but they're playing for charity, which is always good. Aren't we all? Like, it's always good to support charity. And one charity that I've always wanted to support or I've talked about is whenever we can help teachers, because teachers obviously don't make much money. They're expected to buy all these products for their classroom. So I got this message yesterday from Emily in New York City. "Hi, I know this is a long shot." No, it's not. "But I teach special education geometry at a public school in Queens. I created an Amazon wish list of some classroom items. If you feel at all interested in contributing or sharing the list, it would mean a lot to me. Thank you." We've done this a few times where we've shared lists and GoFundMes and things like that, and sometimes you guys really come through. Wouldn't that be nice if we could do that now? I'll post a link below. She's just trying to populate her classroom to make it a place that's not full of anxiety. Whenever you're teaching math, it can be an anxious place. So she says, "Please help me stock, organize, and decorate my classroom. I teach geometry, and I'm hoping to develop an engaging classroom that helps combat test and math anxiety. We're looking forward to a fun and creative year." How great would it be if we populated that classroom with some de-stress balls, I should say, some different little fidget toys, a nice tray to put some plants on. I mean, these are nice things that teachers, they're trying to survive too. Remember these colorful rubber erasers? I used to love these things. Some planets. Okay, so if anyone, all you have to do is purchase one. You can just purchase one thing. I'll pick. I don't know what I'm going to get here. Maybe I'll be the guy who gets the de-stress balls. We'll have to figure it out. But anyway, link below. I appreciate you guys in advance. Thank you guys so much for the help and generosity.
Now, Joe,
Oh, man.
2 strikes, be careful. Here you go. Tell me the last thing you licked.
My lips.
One. He did one slap and then you left him hanging.
Joe, I got faith in you, boy. Lips.
All right, so new Sunday at 8, 7 Celebrity Family Feud. So anyway, Steve Harvey he's worth a lot. He earns his paycheck. I'll put it that way. The guy's got energy. So that was on the Celebrity Feud. And then here is what Nate posted.
Family Feud. You never know what these stars are gonna say next. Give me the last thing you licked.
Toes.
Now they're licking toes. Hey,
now they're licking toes. When he said, "Give me the last thing you licked," wouldn't it have been great if, a grocery store Joe said, "My tomato sauce available on all stores." Pulled that out there. All right, so Nate says, "What a fun and exciting experience this was. Watch Bachelor Nation take on Bachelor Squad." I couldn't tell what was the difference between Bachelor Nation and Bachelor Squad. They were all kind of just random contestants. So they were playing for their causes there. And of course, Thomas posts this, and Becca says, I don't condone bad behavior. He says, what are you talking about? And then someone says, I wonder if it's Nate's bad behavior, which again, that would make no sense. Although here are the photos that Thomas has. He has this photo. He has this random photo right here. Could she have been referring to that? Could you, it's this photo here with Grocery Store Joe and his new sauce line, Sundays with Joe. I don't condone bad behavior. Doesn't really make sense for that photo. What's bad behavior? I mean, did anyone watch this? Was there any sort of cheating that went on the show, that is, or in real life? Let me know. Geez, we don't have the answers. Anyway, so that's where they're at. Mari posts this, Bachelor Squad. Kenny's on the bottom there, as he is. So he says, I've had back problems since this day. Brian, can you help? Of course, Brian's a chiropractor. So anyway, there they are. And you know what's interesting with Steve Harvey? There's always this dilemma about cancel culture. We've kind of politicized this idea where, like, so if you say, oh, so and so's against cancel culture, it kind of sounds like you're saying so and so doesn't feel like they deserve consequences for what they say. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. So here's Steve Harvey's take on cancel culture. Jeez, Monday mornings, I can't talk at all. Every joke you tell now, it hurts somebody's feelings, Steve Harvey said. And then he says this, the only way I can do one more special stand-up, that is if it's at the end of my television career, because it will end my television career. We're in the cancel culture now. No stand-up that is sponsor-driven can say anything he wants to. Chris Rock can't, Kevin Hart can't, Cedric the Entertainer can't, D.L. Hughley can't. I can go down the list. The only person that can say what they want to say on stage is Dave Chappelle, because he's not sponsor driven, he's subscription driven. And I'll be quite honest, the logic makes sense. Cancel culture, or whatever you want to call it, exists in a world where people can write to network TV shows and say, so and so did or said something that I don't agree with, and I'm going to boycott your sponsors if you don't fire them, or whatever the case may be, right? That's basically what it is. On a subscription, you'd have to get every single person who subscribes to cancel, which is kind of why a lot of people have gone to private sales. Andrew Schultz just sold his stand-up special through a private sale, which means he did not place it on an Amazon Prime or anywhere. He literally sold it privately. You could buy it. He probably made about $5 million on his stand-up special, which is a lot of money, guys. Dave Chappelle's on Netflix, which is subscription-driven. But it's actually, I think what Steve Harvey's point is, it's less about what someone has said, but what they're willing to say for fear of being canceled. And we talk about the idea of cancel culture versus counsel culture, and I think it's way more nuanced. But I have read people who said, "Oh, Dave Neal's against cancel culture," as if it's some sort of thing to say that I don't think justice should be served or whatever. But I do believe, and we always relate this back to the Chris Harrison situation, that the most effective way to communicate to all people is that prior to canceling someone, to give them the chance to counsel, to learn, and to grow. And then you might say, well, how many times can you give someone a chance before it's too late? I don't know. But for me, cancel culture, for the most part, does more to punish the single person they're canceling and less to educate and move people forward. And I think what we should all pursue, progressively speaking, is a world where we all move forward and educate and things. So if someone's got a photo with a Confederate flag from when they were a teenager, it might be better to say, do you know what this stands for? And if you don't, can we explain this to you? And you go, oh my gosh, I had no idea. Geez, wow, yeah, no. Things like that I think are good. You might say, well, so-and-so's 48 years old. He should have known better. Okay, well, that's where the dilemma is, cancel versus counsel. But we love to talk about it. And I love that Steve Harvey talks about it, because he goes, look, I'm not doing another stand-up special. I'm not going to get canceled from all my lucrative TV gigs because a portion of the audience doesn't like what I have to say. That's it. That's what exists out there. Part of one of the reasons why I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal. It's a revenue stream. About 10% of my income, sometimes more, sometimes 25%, comes from Patreon, which is you guys donating to my channel, which I do appreciate. If you have the option today between donating to Patreon and buying a gift for the teacher that we were speaking about, by all means, go to the Amazon wish list. If I didn't make it clear earlier, when you purchase something from this wish list, it goes directly to them. You don't have to, I know this might sound like common sense. You don't have to buy it, receive it, and then ship it back out. When you purchase something, it goes directly to them. One last thing I wanted to share was this moment. Steve Harvey lives on an infamy for me when he accidentally announced the wrong Miss Universe. If you didn't watch this live, it was some of the best TV ever made. Colombia! So he announces Colombia. And then Colombia spends about 2 minutes, putting the tiara on. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? And look, we love Colombia. Go to Bogota, Medellin, Cartagena. Absolutely, go to Colombia. But either way, it wasn't her, so we go to Steve Harvey. Now watch Steve Harvey sort of slowly try to figure out, this is the funniest part, because knowing what we know now in hindsight, he's slowly starting to figure out how to broach this, how to come back. They were like, yeah, you announced the wrong one. You need to change this now. And when it's a competition, I'm sure they have regulations. Whenever money's involved or winners, there's I've competed on game shows, right? It's just it's really intense. People don't want to get in trouble. So you have to make this right. So here he is. Look at him.
It was my mistake. It was on the card. Horrible mistake. But the right thing, I can show it to you right here.
Wow. And the question, you might say, Dave, why did you share that with us? I don't know. Whenever I think of Steve Harvey, that's the thing I think of. Let me know what you guys are up to today. I'll see you guys on the Patreon in a little bit, and I'll also be on the public live stream, 7 p.m. East Coast and 10 p.m. East Coast, before and after tonight's episode. We'll talk to you guys soon. Don't forget, link in the description if you want to donate to our friend Emily's Amazon wish list. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody.